You mentioned then getting coaching from Sean Pratt and from Don, and what were some of the early things that you remember in working with Don, and when you talked about using tools and how that translated from your construction career and things that you'd found as you discovered tools that helped you in your construction business and career, and then the tools that you were discovering in your new narration career?
Well, it's funny because when I was working in construction, I had learned from a lot of different guys and had a lot of different bosses. And and you learn I found that the thing that works best for me, and I learned this from my mom and talking from my with my mom a lot, was you can learn from anybody. Just listen. And even if they're giving you horrible advice, you might be learning what not to do, but you're learning something if you're open to receiving it. And so one of the things that I learned from one of the bosses, really good guy, he when I started working for him, he was 36 years old, which I mean now I feel like is just a young pup. But he would tell me that he couldn't wait till he was an old man and then he could have a reason to be grumpy and an excuse. And he had the most rickety, dangerous, scary pair of stilts you've ever seen in your life. These things should have been thrown away years and years and years ago. We actually met up for coffee with one of the guys that he had trained years before me. And that guy popped by and was like, "Oh my word, you're still using those stilts? Those should have been thrown out when I was working with you." So I learned that from that, when I started using my own tools and buying my own tools, having fresh, ready, clean tools that worked well, that were well maintained, made the job so much easier, so much faster. And then I would go and visit other different guys who were working, and I would offer to work with them. I would partner with them. I would just kind of ask them questions about what they did, and I would try and glean from what they had learned, all the tips and tricks and things that they liked. And some stuff I would go, "Oh yeah, I would never do it that way," or I would be like, "Huh, that's not the way I would try it." And so I would try it and see what I liked about it, see what I didn't. And then I allowed myself to draw from a lot of different places so that I could try and be the best taper or construction person or whatever that I could be. And I've tried to do that with my audiobook narration as well. Learn and glean from a lot of different sources because this is a very subjective industry. There's a lot of different ways and a lot of different avenues that you can pursue as far as where you go and also how you perform what you're doing. So I always laugh at those people that go, "This is the way you have to do it." Not necessarily. Are there rules of thumb? Absolutely. Are there things that you should stay away and standards you need to practice? Absolutely, no question. Audible doesn't have a category for these are the people who know what they're doing and they're professionals and they have a master's degree and they really do an amazing job. And these are the audiobooks that are done by people who have no idea what they're doing. And there's dogs barking in the background and they have like, all kinds of weird effects and they are reading it like they're reading from, a cereal box. That's a different category. That's not. They're all mixed together on Audible. And so you're dragging down the entire industry when you start saying, "Yeah, it's a free for all. Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you have training or not."